If you want to get promoted, you need to stop thinking like an employee. After 13 years as a manager and now a director coaching other managers, I've seen how this one mindset kills promotions over and over. So in this video, I'm going to show you the subtle mistakes that keep managers stuck and the mindset shift that will finally get you your promotion. So what is this massive mistake that most managers make? Well, the best example on how this works is actually one of my favorite movies, Ocean's 11. When George Clooney and Brad Pitt's character Danny and Rusty wanted to pull off a massive heist, what did they do first? They went and recruited all of their friends because they knew they could not do it alone. They knew for the heist to be successful, they weren't going to be the ones shimmying through lasers or cracking the vault. Their genius and reason for success wasn't in how they pulled off the jobs themselves. Their genius was in who they assembled. The acrobat, the hacker, the explosive guy, the smooth talker, each one had a role. Each one had ownership. That's why the plan worked. And that's the mindset shift that I've seen hold back great managers like yourself. Directors don't ask how, they think about who. That one question separates the doers from the leaders. In fact, in a Harvard study, leaders who started delegating strategic tasks early were 3 times more likely to get promoted. Why? Because it showed that they could scale themselves and grow other leaders, which is exactly what executives are looking for when they promote somebody. So how do you do that? Well, you just need my simple system you can start using today. Step number 1, pick one task you're still holding on to. The easiest way to find it is to just ask yourself, does this really need my level of authority or just my time? If someone else could handle it with a little bit of guidance, that's a task to delegate. Step number 2, write a quick definition of what done looks like. This is so important. Imagine running a race with no finish line or no time frame. How would you know when to stop? That would be frustrating, right? Well, giving tasks to employees works the same way. Keep it simple, just 2 or 3 must-haves that mark the finish line for them. That way, your team members know exactly what success looks like before they start. And then step number 3, explain the why. Don't just hand it off, share why it matters. Tie it to the bigger goal or project so they see a purpose. When people understand why, they take more ownership, and that's what grows them into leaders. I want you to use these 3 steps every week and watch how fast you move up from being a manager who does it all to the leader who develops others and gets noticed for it. And if you like that, you'll love the stuff I send in my email list. So what are you waiting for? Come join the cool kids in there. Says the ginger wearing orange glasses because his eyes hurt from bright lights. But once you make this shift, a new problem is going to start popping up if you don't also use what I'm about to show you next. Without it, you won't develop your people and get recognized for those efforts. So what is this mistake that you need to avoid at all costs? Well, a simple way to explain how this works is by thinking of that one friend that we have all had at one point. You know that friend or spouse who tries to introduce you to a new show, but just can't actually let you watch the show. They're constantly grabbing the remote, pausing every 5 minutes to explain what's happening, and you're sitting there like, bro, I can figure it out on my own. Just let me watch the damn show. Well, if you've had to deal with that frustrating person, then you know exactly what micromanaging feels like when you delegate something but then hover over that employee. You think you're helping, but your team just feels like you don't trust them, like they're too dumb to figure it out themselves. And leadership can pick up on this. And that's when trust breaks and promotability drops. Promotable managers set guardrails and a simple predefined check-in time. In fact, McKinsey report found that teams with clarity and autonomy outperformed others by 20%, so it's critical that you do this. So how can you do that? Well, here's the formula to stop being a show-pausing manager. Step number 1 is just set the guardrails. Spell out the do's and don'ts up front. For example, do follow the client template. Don't change the pricing structure. Try to keep it to like 3 or fewer rules so it's simple to follow. Step number 2, set the clock. Give a deadline that creates urgency but isn't overwhelming. That way, your team can pace themselves without you hovering. And then step number 3, choose one pit stop. Schedule a single check-in where they can update you. Not constant interruptions, just one moment to course correct if needed. So this week, when you figure out what you're going to delegate, make sure you set those guardrails. If you don't do it, I'm going to know, and it'll upset me. You don't want to upset me, do you? But once you do this, you'll instantly shift from micromanaging to leading with clarity, and that's what convinces executives you can scale a team, which is a skill they promote. But even if you delegate perfectly, your style of leadership may be the very thing holding you back. So go watch this video next where I show you how the best way to lead is by doing the exact opposite of what you think a boss should do.